AT&T Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago. This crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
It's Freeman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Set, black 22, black 22.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. Well, this past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable of being a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out, save for some injuries, and maybe utilizing the pass game a little bit more in Houston. 4.6 yards per carry is a healthy number, and that was his highest since 2014 when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
This is taken at the 18. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. For the Falcons, Charles, we've talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7 and 9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker Deion Jones for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1 and 4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7 and 9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
Going to give it to Freeman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Freeman, and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Tuesday.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. Freeman the first down and more. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 25 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest score. Scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3, and it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the 3rd team to win the year after losing a Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Come back, come back. Hey, green the line, green the line.
Watson on 3rd down. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A 1st down carry now for Miller. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Brooks Reed with a tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Richmond. Hey, green the line. Green the line. Tiger.
On first down, it's Watson. That's going to be caught. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Black 22. Black 22.
To the air yet again. Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pavin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, IB Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pavin, though? Wins $100,000 for his efforts. Also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day. Unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pavin. Way to go.
On first down, Ryan. He shakes it off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. DJ Reader. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Gun. 21. Hey, Tuesday. Let go.
On second down, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, The defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, and for the second straight season, Player of the Year.
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Saquon Barkley with the Giants. Mayfield with Cleveland.
Yeah, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Darius Leonard of the Colts, and the Colts Comeback Player of the Year, Andrew Luck, and very deservedly so.
I would say that for sure, and he beat out J.J. Watt, who also would have been a deserving winner. Coach of the Year, I thought, was a close vote, or probably should have been closer to me, because I thought Anthony Lynn from the Chargers deserved some respect, but Matt Nagy of the Bears, he ends up winning the award. They went 12-4 in his rookie season.
And then last one we need to mention, Chris Long of the Eagles, well-deserved Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. Congrats to all.
Yeah, how about that? Donated his first 4 game checks to fund a literacy program that donated free books and memories. And remember, last season, he donated every game check to causes that he felt strongly about.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. To throw is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. And with the play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And with the play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Third and long, it's Watson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans send the punter out, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy, and of course when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Now Ryan on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 71 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. But the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. That was the first time that 2 AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
But as you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. Watson just beating the play clock. And this is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Get it 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. On first down, Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Black 22! Black 22!
They hand off to their big tight end. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Blue 80! Blue 80!
Watson now to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Anxious moments there on the fake, but they do get just enough to pick up the first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Right! 22!
After the interception, big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22!
After the interception, here's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Reset. Come back. Tiger.
Watson on first down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brooks Reed able to drop him for a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got Fuller. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Watson now on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. On 1st down, Watson. Flush to his right, to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Something worse.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No doubt that's a legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Watson. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again on 2nd and 10. It's Ryan. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Back now in Houston, it's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Hey, black 22! Black 22!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Black 22! Black 22!
On 1st down, it's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, who ready? Who ready?
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. It's Freeman.
Me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Ryan eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Bryant's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone. For a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Tack McKinley able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's getting a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Tiger.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Watson. Completion left side to Miller. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now Watson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Watson now to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
On the give, this is their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey, wait. Ready. Hey, Tuesday. Hold this.
Here's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before beat this one in the win column. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.